Perfect. So Victoria has really kindly agreed for me to give a little demo of her chart today. So we're just going to go, I'm a bit breathless from running up the stairs. We're going to go straight into it, okay? So let me just check. Yeah, perfect. So I'm going to share my screen. And just to check that you can see this okay.
Yep.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what you're looking at, okay? So I'm just going to pop your screen up there. There. So people who are watching this can't see, but I've taken the letters of Victoria's name on her birth certificate, and we have translated them into ancient Hebrew, which is an alphabet that has 22 letters. And the soul contract reading work is based on sound. So the sound of your name creates your reality. And sound is a vibration, so sound is creative. So the sound in your birth name is what's creating all the energies in your life, which is what we've mapped in your soul contract here. So what we've done is each letter of the Hebrew alphabet corresponds to a number, and each number has an energy attached to it. You can see all the energies here. So we're going to dive into what all of these numbers mean. The first thing I'm just going to show you is what's going on in this thing here. This is our Star of David. This is where we map all of these numbers on. So it's very mathematical. And you'll see that there are two triangles. You have the physical triangle pointing to the earth plane. So these are energies that normally come on in the earlier part of your life. So I'm going to be asking, you know, when you were younger, did you feel like this? And what happens is, in your life, the physical energies start out really strong, and then they gradually decline. And the spiritual energies start out really small, and then they gradually expand. And then you have this lovely point, which is almost, can be a spiritual awakening, or it can be just a big shift in energy. And this is time along here. For a lot of people, it's in their 30s, mid-30s, 40s, that kind of time. So this is the spiritual triangle, which is another part of your soul's journey coming online. This points to the heavens. And then what we have is your karma. And karma is what you probably find challenging in life, what you found really a little bit difficult, what's been your greatest hardship. But through that hardship comes your wisdom. So I also call this where your potential sits. Your wisdom, your potential, and your growth, your evolution. And then we have your talents, and your talents are what you're really good at. Your talents are what you can use to work through your karma and to reach your goals. We really want to bring them online and make you very aware of what you've got in your goodie bag, in your gift bag, what you're capable of, your innate talents. And then your goals are what your soul really wants you to achieve, what it's really, really here to do. And then you have your soul destiny, which is almost like everything coming together. Your soul destiny is an amalgamation of all of the different energies. And I've got a lot of sevens in my chart, and so do you. There's big seven energy going on. So we're going to talk about your karma first. And the first one I'm going to look at are the nines. So nines are very powerful. They're the most powerful energies in the soul contract system. They are like the dragon energy in Game of Thrones, huge, expansive, spirit in motion. But what happens is when the nines come in a karmic position, it can indicate perhaps was there some disempowerment when you were younger? Yeah. So what I normally ask is, you know, was there something that happened? And you don't have to go into details at all, but you know, normally it comes through in childhood or in school or when you're a little bit younger where your power is taken away.
Yeah, it's a really interesting one. I guess there's two ways that I would look at this. When I was younger, there was a specific incident that happened in primary school where I used to play the violin, and a boy in my violin class one day said, "I don't know why you do this. You're no good at it. You
Wow.
should quit." And I quit, and that was one of the first memories that I have of that. So I think that was quite a big one, actually. It was quite a big one. And then my parents divorced as well, when I was a child. So I'm guessing that might also play into that as well.
Yeah, massively. So really interestingly, all these sevens that you've got here are
Yeah.
all to do with healing the heart.
Mm,
And often people have this number in their chart because they've had a very big heart wound
mm,
and they're here to bring their heart back to wholeness and really big healing, and then work from their heart and be a very safe, loving presence for others because they're coming from such an authentic heart space. So would you
mm.
say that that divorce was, I don't, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You know, as a child, I think it was one of the things I used to think when I was younger, as in like, 9 or 10, when I had a few friends who were going through it. Oh, my parents are never going to divorce. And then I got to 12 and it happened, and it was like, so yeah,
yes, blows up your world. Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
yeah. And I know you mentioned that creativity, one of your questions was, where's my creative potential? It's sitting right in your nine. So nines are a creative and spiritual number, and they're all about spirit coming and moving through you and you being the physical vessel to create and channel and expand. It's a very expansive, powerful number. So
Yeah.
that's where your power is. And over here, you've got this lovely three, and threes are a master number. They're really strong. And if you have a three in your chart, you're really here to come out of hiding and to share your talents with the world, because sevens can be very shy.
Mm.
So I don't know if you sometimes and they can switch. They can be the life and soul of the party, and they can also be very, very shy. So I don't know if you
Yeah.
bounce between.
The way that kind of translates to my life is I would call myself an extroverted introvert.
Yeah,
Um, I'm very much, I can be loud and quite out there in groups, but also I can also take a real back seat if I don't feel comfortable or there are too many people. I
yeah,
can be quite shy and retiring in that sense. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I think if I don't feel like comfortable enough to be myself around people, to be my authentic self,
yeah.
I think that's probably where I felt that throughout my life, is this, oh, I'm scared to be too much me. And so I've kind of been quieter.
And this is the seven energy. It's quite literally about authenticity.
Yeah.
And I have four sevens in my birth chart, and I've got three in my common name, which is my name without my middle name, which also has a
Mm,
big impact. And sevens are all about healing that heart wound
mm,
so you can come into your full authentic self. Because what happens is sevens often show one version of themselves to people that they feel safe with, and
mm-hmm.
another version of themselves out to the world.
Yeah.
And sevens can be quite controlling with themselves. It's, oh, don't let myself have too much fun. Don't let my mask slip. They can be very rigid, very like, I don't know if you find sometimes in your life it's quite hard to just relax and go with the flow a little bit.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's the big journey of the sevens, and it's a dominant energy in your charts, your soul destiny. But if you think about the positive of sevens, is you are here to be a big catalyst for people. It's a catalytic, empowering energy. And the symbol, and there's a lot in the symbols in this system. The symbol is that you are the link. You are the link between them and
Mm,
a solution.
mm,
And you are quite here, quite literally, to be a mediator between. And what's really lovely, it's a very magnetic number, by the way. And the more you come into your authenticity, the more you will attract those like-minded people into your life. And what I love is this number, the 16-7. The 16 is all about bringing higher information or spiritual energies or channeled or um, that soul knowledge that comes through and sharing it out with the world. You're literally a translator.
yeah.
You're a translating unit, like into plain English for people to really understand.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. One of the things I've done many different types of readings, and whether it be astrology, human design, all of these things, and everything says you are a connector. You are a connector of
Yep.
people.
This is quite literally the seven energy. It's a networking, magnetic, people, everything. Yeah, community building, all of that.
Yeah, yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful number. And then if you bring in, I tell you what else is a really interesting number. The threes are all about communicating as well. And the threes are very creative, and they really, it's all about using your voice. It's about singing, acting, creating. It's a very creative musical communication number. So you're meant to be playing that violin.
Yeah, do you know, and that is just honestly, it's just blown my mind a little bit because, one of the things, one of my aims for this year, when I was younger, I was all into my music. I loved to dance. I did all the dancing. I did ballet, tap, modern, jazz. I used to play the violin, guitar, recorder. I did all these wonderful things, and I wanted to be an actress up until I was about 16.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden, this realization of, teenage years, oh my God, like I have to be seen to do all of that stuff. And,
yeah.
that really clicked in for me, unfortunately. But I love all of that. And this year, my biggest thing was to really be able to find my voice again.
Yeah.
So
And that's the threes all through. And the sevens will want to hide because they'll be very, very scared. They'll be almost terrified of being seen. And the thing, sorry, my light is so bright. The thing about the sevens also, and this is going very deep with them, the sevens carry a lot of shame. They carry a lot of very deep emotional programming of it is shameful for I'm ashamed of myself. I'm bad at my core. Therefore, I do not want other people to see and witness that. And it's a very, very deep emotion. So it's almost can't really be seen on the surface. And not everyone resonates with it, but it's like a deep non-acceptance.
Yeah. And would you say that that's, if you don't mind me asking,
Yeah.
that shame is necessarily like the soul contract? It is either karmic, so could it be past life related? Could it be like ancestral related?
Yes, I think everything funnels into us. So all of the programming that we carry in our life, at our core, we are perfect, whole, and complete. And then we have all of these layers of ancestral, genetic, DNA, multidimensional, past lives, current lives, future lives, soul contract programming. All of them feed in parental society, all of our family, they create all these programs and layers within us, and we're here to deconstruct all of them.
Yes. Yeah. Deep in
Yeah.
that work.
So am I, isn't it fun? It
Oh,
is a big old process. And I tell you what, with your 21-3 here, you're here to take on big challenges. I don't know if you've had big challenges in your life already.
yes, there's been a few. Yeah. So I came out of, as you said, like the spiritual awakening thing happened when I had a really dramatic relationship breakdown when I was 29.
Okay.
And that was kind of the beginning of my spiritual awakening about 11 years ago. And then that was a huge like shifting point for me. And then I've literally in the last couple of years left the corporate world as an executive assistant, and I'm a yoga teacher now. So
Amazing.
was a big shift, yeah. And a lot of not so nice stuff had to happen in order for me to get here. So yeah.
Gosh, I can only imagine because it's such a big leap of faith and to come out of that matrix way of living. And yoga's so good for you because it releases all that rigidity in the body that the sevens can hold on to. Like I like to dance, like I really love five rhythm dancing, but yoga is very grounding for the sevens.
Yeah.
Um, do you find, just one other thing I was going to say, do you find that you can be quite indecisive sometimes?
Oh my God, I'm the worst decision maker in the world. Like, absolutely.
So am I. It's the seven energy. It's
Wow.
Gemini. Yeah, it's Gemini. So it's all about like two faces, two different versions of us, and also
Yes.
two different decisions we can't figure out.
I always say I've got like this conflict, like one side of my brain says one thing and the other says another, and I'm like, which one do I listen to?
Oh, it's really difficult. So the challenge is we have to come out of the thinking and into the feeling in the body,
Yes.
which is, really easy to say, but quite hard to do. But the other thing completely missed are your
Mhm.
sixes here. I literally did not see them until now. That
Mhm.
is the other half of the creative duo that is the 9 and the 6.
Okay.
And the 6s are here to get really focused because
Mm.
they can often try and do so many things that they
Yeah.
can get a little scattered, burnt out, and overwhelmed. So I don't know if you find.
Oh yeah, I've burnt out 2, 3 times now, and it's a real thing. And I think that's part of the other thing that I'm working with at the moment is I have so many ideas, like, and it becomes quite overwhelming. So I'm trying to do this, trying to that, and it's like, okay, sometimes it's just let's just focus on one thing at a time.
Yeah, that's what quite literally what you have to do because 6s can have all this creative, this is the symbol, they can have all this creative loveliness flowing, flowing, and then they get stuck in a knot.
Yeah,
And that is the knot of disconnection from source, where
right.
all the anger and frustration comes in because they can't quite feel.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you can ever kind of go into a little bit of isolation sometimes. Yeah,
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
so that's the 7 and 6 energy. The 7s want to hide and the 6 want to isolate so they can really focus.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, but 6s, no wonder you can take a spark of an idea and just create with it. It's a beautiful energy, the 6.
Hmm.
And the 21-3, that's all about overcoming endurance and hardship.
Yeah.
And the 21-3s have to move through obstacles.
Yeah.
You can't go around them, as I'm sure you found out. You have to go through.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it's like an initiation of your strength because if you have a 21-3 in your chart, it's like the universe is saying, do you really want to do it? Do you really want to work through it? So you get this hard energy, this hard number in your chart. And
Hmm.
then the next lifetime, it's completely different. Like this is a challenging energy. So all the things you've experienced with the disempowerment, the broken heart, feeling stuck, you know,
Mhm.
the hiding, the coming into your authenticity, it's all like a challenge for you.
Yes, definitely is or has been.
Yeah, and the lovely thing is the 11-2, the final one here. This is all about building. You're here to build your core values, build your emotional resiliency, build your dependency on yourself and your independence
Yeah.
and your interdependence.
Yes. Yes, it's very true. I mean, it's the one thing that I've been told a few times is like you're being independent to the level that you are or have been is not necessarily healthy. Um,
Hmm.
it got to the point where it was that extreme, like I must rely on only me and me only.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a safety thing, I think, with the sevens of I don't want my heart to be hurt, so it's not
Yeah.
safe to trust people.
Mm. Yeah, definitely.
And because the sevens are all about making decisions, we are indecisive because we can't trust ourselves.
Hmm.
And therefore we don't trust the world and people around. It's just a reflection, it's just a constant mirroring.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm the same. But with an 11-2, you're here to teach, you're here to build a body of knowledge,
Mhm.
you're here to be very resilient in sharing it out with the world.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's the finding my voice thing and trying to work through, you know, this is my authentic self and that's okay. And
Yeah.
some people might like it and some people might not, and that's also fine.
Exactly. And the 11-2s are very, very sensitive numbers. So it's very easy for this number to really feel things. I talk quite a lot about them actually. And the threes, the last thing I'll say is the threes, this is the number about self-worth. And whether it's in a talent position or a karmic position, the three energy is very strong. And I have two of them. And this is all about really coming out of hiding and sharing yourself and feeling worthy to be seen, feeling worthy to create, feeling it's a big worth one.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and feeling, deserving of ease in your life because the 21s can be about hardship and it's feeling life doesn't have to be hard. I deserve ease in my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, ultimately, as we said with the soul destiny of sevens, you're really here to communicate and network and share and link and catalyze.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful number. And actually, is there anything else I would say about it? Yeah, so this is the written description. I love it. With this inner soul destiny, this is all about allowing the unifying energies of God, the universe, to come through your heart so that people are unified in themselves and in groups.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Big loving energy.
Yes, yeah, big heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's that, isn't it? Showing ourselves and showing that we have within us so that others feel comfortable to do the same.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly it. It's exactly what we're both here to do.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay, so I think we're all good. Did you have any other questions?
No, that was amazing. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
so,
you.
so welcome.